It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielsen, Matt Cassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gate.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday as rookie camps are just around the corner. It's almost time where we will have a lot of hockey talk. To be honest with you, it's kind of getting excited. Like, now that I've been through the CFL now, NFL's back. I forget during hockey season just how much content there is. It's insane that we work our way and navigate through all these off-season episodes, and then Cass all of a sudden will be like, "Oh yeah, there was 11 games last night in the National Hockey League. Let's break some of these things down." Like,
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm pumped for it. Ready for it to get going again and get back at it. Get back at the pre and post game show for the old Oilers, and it's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited for this season, especially here in Edmonton. I think there's a lot to look forward to, and there's gonna be a ton to talk about. So it's gonna be good.
Look at you doing the old renovating there again. Hey, Cass, first it was the bathroom
just chipping
you were
away.
sharing pics with, and now you're working on the office.
Yeah, working on the office. You can see there's still stuff that's all wrapped up because we, I don't know if I talked about this on here, but like a couple months ago, our sump pump decided to die in the middle of the night.
You did mention it to us, yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of a long, slow process. And so finally got everything is back in the house now. And while that was going on, I was like, well, I wasn't like, my wife was like, hey, I want you to do this. So I started doing a little bit to the office down here. So yeah, the background looks nice. It'll get better as I can actually get stuff out of the way. And I got to build a door. That's my next project. So a little custom door for that thing to match the wall. So it'll be fun.
I'm glad you said that. It looked like a Dexter Morgan prep room there. From what I see.
That's right. So what was your body count this weekend, Cass? That's
5.
That's great. Yeah, exactly. That's what it looks like. Gager, you got kicked off of Alish Hemsky's line this weekend. Tell us about that experience.
Oh, man. So, yeah, up in Lloyd for the Battle of Alberta. I did manage to spend a lot of time with Chris Joseph as we drove up together. Trying to solidify my place in the new Hall of Fame at Rogers, but
because he's a member, he's a voting member. That's right.
He's the board. Yeah. So essentially, it was about 8 hours of me with my resume. So he says he's going to have me in a cloakroom in the lower levels, the nook of shame down there. There'll be a couple guys down there. There'll be a little bit of a setup with a video showing me blow a 3-goal lead and stuff. And so it's something, Dusty. But no, it was great. Autograph session. Was a little bit pissed off because they put me right next to Alish Hemsky in the autograph session. So, and I was on the end, which really sucked. It didn't matter where I sat, but it got to Greiba and they were like, "Oh, Greiba, you're great, tough guy. I love that." They get to Alish. All these guys are just, "You were my favorite. You were the best player. I didn't like anyone else in Edmonton." And then they got to me. And it was the most humiliating 2-hour autograph session of my life, sitting next to Alish Hemsky.
How's my boy Grimes doing?
Oh, he's great, man. He's solid. What a good guy. Really glad I get to
such
meet
an awesome guy.
Other guys through this and stuff. He's just still doing his YouTube videos. We should have him on because he does those hunting and cooking shows. They're great.
Here's the thing about the cooking for Grimes, and I hammer on him on this all the time, is that because we were roomies. And there's a whole bunch I've seen early on, not so much now because he's obviously grown, but a couple of the recipes he used early on were my recipes.
Oh, nice.
That we had done when we cooked. Yeah, there's one in particular. There's an asparagus recipe that he used, and I was like, Grimes, that's mine. But he's such a good guy. I owe him a text here. We chatted earlier this summer. We haven't talked to him a little bit, but what a beauty he is. Great guy.
Yeah. And I got to meet Stuart Skinner. So
nice.
So I was worried because obviously Emrance Mashmeyer, the Olympic gold champion for Canadians women's team, and got to meet both of them. Skinner's a beast, actually. He's a really big man. But,
he is, isn't he? 6'4", right? He's got good size.
You can see. I got a picture, and he's a lot taller than I am. So big dude, really nice guy. Emrance was awesome. she played like I got bumped. Obviously, didn't make the cut to be in goal.
You poor
I was
bugger.
pulling the left side. Yeah. So and then proceeded to go up and down the left side in my goal skates, which was really awesome. Like just everyone got out. I mean, the announcer must have mentioned it 8 times during the game. And Joaquin Gage clopping around in his goal skates, and then it ended up a 6-6 tie. Without Emirates, it would have been a blowout, I think, for the Flames. But it was great. It was a great weekend. Nice to see Alish, and there were some other Oilers there too. So, but a great weekend. Good weekend in Lloydminster.
I love when you go to these charity events. Like, worst 2-hour autograph session of my life, and the announcer was just chirping me the entire time when I'm on the ice. That's why you're a beauty lister, Gager. Like,
it's unbelievable. Don't
get to play your actual position. Like,
no,
it's just
Nook of shame, just ridiculed. I was playing on a line with Hemsky for a bit, and then sat up, and Rafi Torres was there. Raf sat next to me, goes, "Hey, why don't you give those skates a rest, and I'll take your next shift?" And I was like, "Okay, all right."
So you were benched as well. Perfect.
Yeah, well, I got kicked off the line. So yeah, well, now I know how JP feels.
Yeah. Well played, sir. Well played. And we'll get to the others in just a second. Also, we've got an installment of Two Guys Super Trivia locked and loaded to go. You guys can go head to head on that one. It should be fun. But Nick Suzuki, let's start there, guys. Nick Suzuki, captain of the Montreal Canadiens, still relatively young into his National Hockey League career. And not an easy spot to be the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. Cass, ton of pressure on this kid. Maybe it's a little bit different, maybe compared to some teams in the past, because I don't know how heavy the expectations are for the Habs to light the world on fire this year. But your thoughts on them handing the C to Suzuki?
Well, I mean, expectations, Dusty. It's Montreal, so
yeah, he's 23 years old.
Even light expectations in Montreal are still crazy high expectations. But pretty crazy for him. I mean, youngest guy to wear the C in Montreal. Yep. So pretty special, I'm sure, for him. I'm not overly surprised by it that they would take a little bit of a flyer here. They want to have a captain. He's a young guy that's going to be in the organization for a long time. And as I said early on, when he started getting games and started playing, he's a heck of a player. Fantastic player. Really, really good young player. Is going to be a core part of their rebuild and growth here for the Canadiens. So, yeah, I'm happy for him. Now he's going to have to perform, and I think the group is going to have to find a way in the next probably 2 years really to start to turn things around. Like, if they don't see some forward progress this year, especially with I guess part of it comes down to, is Carey Price actually going to be able to return next season? I don't think he will. I think he's probably finished. But all of a sudden they're going to have a ton of cap room, some good young talent, and the expectations, I think, are going to rise pretty quickly. So he gets like a year of grace here, I think, for growth. And then the expectations start to pile on. So hopefully he can just continue his forward progress as a player, which I think he will. Really, really good. So, yeah, big year for him. Big shoes to fill historically. If we look at some of the guys that have worn the C for that organization, in a pretty cool moment for a young kid.
Gager, do you think he's already had a French lesson this morning, or what?
Oh, that's the one way to really endure yourself to the fans.
You can win people over. Start learning French.
Start learning the language a little bit, and I'm sure it won't be too difficult for him. But it's something definitely. I think it should be in the job description if you're an English-speaking person with the C in Montreal, to be able to speak French. That's just another feather in your cap. And I mean, Suzuki's a phenomenal player. He is really good. I like the fact that. If you look at the Canadiens, they're kind of starting over, young team. Why not give the C to a basically a future superstar if he's not already, and run from there? I know when his game against the Oilers here, I just remember him coming down the right side and ripping some shots shelf.
He's a good player.
He's a really, really good player. I'm really excited to see what him and Doc can do together. That's going to be that's going to be very intriguing to see. I see the Canadiens kind of battling, not making the playoffs, but making it.
Yeah, I don't think they make it either. Yeah.
uncomfortable for some other teams. Sorry about
Yeah.
that, Dusty, but you're going to have
No,
to
and
wait
it's
a few
understandable. I don't expect it. We had a listener or a viewer right now watching said Marty St. Louis said this morning that the goal is the playoffs, and I mean he can say that. Pretty much every team in the league is going to say that. Nobody's going to roll out, especially in a market like Montreal, and say, "Yeah, we aren't even thinking we can make the playoffs this year." Like if that happens, Marty St. Louis ain't going to be there come time they drop the puck opening night anyway. So, but I mean I just look at their blue line. They don't have Carey Price. I love the kid that they drafted. I love that they got Kirby Dach. They got Cole Caulfield. They got Suzuki. Like, they've got a really good core of young forwards, but that doesn't necessarily mean a ticket to the postseason. So I don't have any expectations for them to make the playoffs. If they did, it would be great. I'd be stunned by it. It'd be awesome experience for these young forwards to get there. Cass, there's no way Jake Allen and that blue line takes these guys into the postseason, is it?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Your blue
top
line's
10
too,
pick again coming.
Yeah, your blue line's too decimated for it. Like, it's just not there. Not that I think Jake Allen is serviceable. Like, if you had a better defensive core around him, you'd probably have a shot at it. But that being said, Dusty, maybe they surprise some teams here, and maybe they find a way to make a push for it and try to push for a wild card spot. Like they have, as you said, some really good young pieces. So I wouldn't peg them as being a playoff team, but there's still a chance if everything goes right, if they stay healthy, if they can really do, let's call it that D by committee sort of feel, then maybe there's a chance. And Jake Allen would have to be, better than he has been historically, I think, in order for that to happen. But most likely not a playoff team, but certainly a team to watch. One of the things that I think is going to be really fun the next couple of years is with Ottawa looking to take a big step forward here this year, is it could turn into a really good rivalry between those two teams. I mean,
you're right.
Already is a rivalry, but it just if Montreal's able to execute here on a rebuild, it could be a blast seeing those two teams really go at it. Like, that could be pretty fun for a Canadian rivalry to really just grow here the next little bit.
It's funny how you say that, Cass, and I saw a mention online about how since the Leafs have got Austin Matthews, they haven't won a round, and the Sens, you could say, have gone into the pooper over that length of time. But now with this full rebuild, they look like a team. Like, if you stack them up together in a 7-game series, if I were to look at that, I would say that might go 7. And the Leafs didn't seem to improve anything. So I like those Sens.
Imagine the Leafs and all this talent they've had and all the expectations, and then you've got this, rebuilding, retooled Ottawa Senators team roll in and knock you off.
That would be so good.
Oh my God. Can you imagine that?
That would be so unbelievable.
First round exit to the Sens.
Oh God.
Let's hope.
That
like,
would be
how awesome would that be for a first round matchup?
That would be great.
That would be.
Terrific.
I mean, it would be like when we played Montreal in the first round a million years ago in 2013. Like, they were 2nd seed, we were 7th, and that
was an all-time series there. That was phenomenal. That was great.
It was a great series, and it would be similar feeling to that, like with just the rivalry and the intensity, especially in that first round. That would be so much fun to watch.
Yeah, be great. Fingers crossed. Let's see that happen. All right, let's continue. Just quickly, a couple things on the Oilers. Obviously, a lot of the guys are back in town skating now. Captain skates, whatever you want to call them. Ryan Rishaug tweeted out today a couple of things. Said the Oilers are still waiting to hear about a possible PTO with Jake Virtanen, who was just cleared, found not guilty in that sexual assault trial. And then Jesse Puljujarvi said they're still working on trying to find a trade for Jesse Puljujarvi here. So let's start with Virtanen. Played in the KHL last year as all this was sorted out after being released by the Vancouver Canucks. Went through, I think it was like 5 days of testimony, and eventually the jury found him not guilty, Cass. So he's looking for a fresh start somewhere. Where do you come out on the Oilers being a possible fit for Jake Virtanen? And we've seen the Oilers linked to some other PTOs, and these guys are going elsewhere. And to be honest with you, I think that's good news for the Oilers, because it means these guys don't think they can win a job here, because the Oilers have a pretty good lineup maybe at that point. But where do you come out on Virtanen getting a crack here to get his NHL career back on track with the Oil?
Well, that's just it. Does he crack the lineup, and does he make you that much better? I don't know that he does. Is he a guy that is he going to be able to step in? Because he's going to be in a third line, fourth line, most likely fourth line role. Is he a guy that's going to be able to kill penalties? I don't think he's been a career penalty killer at all. I look at him, Dusty, and I don't know how much of a fit he ultimately would be for the organization in terms of what he's actually going to be able to bring. So if you can get him here in the PTO, I mean, that's pretty low risk. You can see how he's adapted, see how his game is over the course of the preseason, and maybe offer him something, maybe not. But I don't know. It doesn't excite me, I don't think. Could he
the
be
last
fit?
time we saw him in the
Maybe.
NHL, and he was obviously going through some stuff then, but he had 5 points in 38 games. So
Yeah.
So
You're not like, I don't know. I don't think he makes you that much better as a team. He's not a difference maker.
Gager, what do you think?
Well, I'm trying to think about who he played with. Like, he was mostly in a second, third line role.
He was a middle
Vancouver.
six guy in Vancouver. I think his time with the Canucks, 20 points, 25 points, 36 points in his time with Vancouver. So
there were flashes of brilliance, I think, right? Like, there was always the thing. And
he scored a few goals that were highlight reel.
Yeah, when I think of Jake Virtanen, I think of a guy that probably to succeed has to be in that top six. I don't think you're going to see the best of him in a third or fourth line role. So might be great in case of injuries, but yeah, I don't see him fitting into the structure of what the Oilers have right now. It's just too much of the same type of player.
All right, and then the other stuff was still possibly listening to offers on Jesse Puljujarvi as a way to clear up cap space. I can't believe I spelled Jesse Puljujarvi's name wrong in our lineup there. I feel shame right now. That's not a good look considering I'm his guy. But at this point, Cass, I mean, he's back. He's skating already. It looks like he's going to start the year here right now. But I mean, they haven't been able to sign McLeod yet. They don't really have the cap space to even get that done. Do you think something still gives here, or they're going to have to maneuver around with the odd 20-man roster and things like that?
I hope they don't have to do the 20-man roster. To me, that just creates all kinds of issues. I mean, you might have to, I guess, if you're forced to, but I don't think you want to. So a little bit of cap trouble here. The tough thing for me for Puljujarvi is you still have to replace those points. And do you have someone else, if you are to move him, that is just going to be able to plug and play and still put up 10 to 15 goals and have some moderate success? Yeah. And what are you actually going to get for him? Because you still do want to get some value out of it, and especially you're in a cap crunch. It just I don't know that you get anything done, which does put you in that weird 20-man roster space, and I don't like that at all.
Yeah, and that's
not
Puljujarvi's fault. I mean, that's management not handling the cap space, right? Yeah.
Well, they've for all that they're in cap trouble right now. I mean, still think they've done a pretty good job of thus far making everything fit. Yeah. There's just kind of one or two
everybody to fit.
Yeah, that's the challenge of it. So I don't know. Maybe we see him moved here. I don't know that teams are going to be chomping at the bit for him, and they know what kind of situation you're in. So,
Gager, status quo, do you think, with this lineup right now for opening night?
Yeah. I'd like to see what the offers are for Puljujarvi, or what's happening if that's going that way. McLeod, yeah, it's weird that hasn't been. Oh, of course it can't get done just because of the cap situation. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see, Dusty. It's sad to see one of your guys leaving.
He's not left yet. I thought he'd already be gone. Their inability to. You know what? If he eventually really hits, their inability to trade him is going to be one of the best things ever. So we'll see what ends up happening on that front. But that's a couple of things. We obviously have a bunch more news coming. Prospects are going to hit the ice later in the week. And should end up being a pretty busy September here for two guys and a goalie, brought to you by our wonderful partners at CoolBet. If you're going to be ready to start betting some hockey, or if you want to hop on and start betting some football right now, obviously with CFL and NFL now underway, you can certainly do that. Just when you sign up for an account, use the code 2GUYS, number 2 in the word guys. And we'll have a lot of two guys specific futures bets laid out for you with our partners at CoolBet when we get to that point of the preseason. All right, we haven't done this in a while, which is pretty amazing considering we got through the entire summer without just leaning on trivia, but I just miss it. I wanted to bring it back. I know we used to have the 3 guys, but I like pitting you guys head to head here. We've got 5 categories today for 2 Guys Super Trivia. Your categories are Habs captains. Fits in well with the news today of Nick Suzuki. You already know who one of the answers is going to be, so we'll get to that. Sad Sutter. Not too sure why I went with Daryl Sutter questions, but it just popped up to my mind while I was sitting around today. The Bure brothers. Players named Jonas and Patrick Roy. All right, so those are your 5 categories. No Kevin Bacon category to kick off the season for you, Cass, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's see here. First to put their hands up gets control of the board. Gager, that was quick. Cass, are you even paying attention?
No, I was writing all the categories down and just
okay.
looking at them like I'm going to get absolutely dusted in this one.
No, you might not. You might not. All right, Gager, the board is yours, buddy. Habs captain, Sad Sutter, Bure Bros, players named Jonas, and Patrick Roy.
Let's go with Bure Bros.
All right, here we go. Which team was Valerie Bure with when he scored 75 points in a season? Cass.
Calgary.
Oh, correct. He's gonna get dusted. He says. That's a pretty decent start, Cass, and now the board is yours.
Sad Sutter.
All right, here we go. How many different NHL teams has Daryl Sutter coached? Gager.
2.
It's 3.
Is it 3?
Oh, then it's 4. I missed one.
Yeah, it's 4. Let me
Was
just
was
double check.
Chicago in
You
there?
guys scared me with your 3. Chicago's in there. Yeah,
Chicago was in there. That's the one I missed.
Yeah. Chicago,
I missed
Los
Chicago.
Angeles, San Jose, and Calgary's been there twice.
Calgary,
All right, Cass, the board remains yours with a 1-0 lead, buddy.
We'll go to Habs captains.
All righty, here we go. Who is the second longest serving captain in Habs history? Cass.
Koivu.
Yes.
That was I had no idea, but I just know how much you love him, so that's where I made that guess. That was a total guess.
I should have thought. I
thought somebody was going to say Koivu as soon as I started the question, to be honest.
Well, that's what I was debating.
I'm gonna pick it
I was
again
like,
and
I'll probably
say
just
Koivu.
wait. Maybe he's going to try to slip it in the second one.
One quick hint. The next Habs captain question, the answer will not be Saku Koivu. I considered it, but it won't be. All right, Cass, 2-0 lead. Your board, bud.
Patrick Roy.
All right, here we go. How many times did Patrick Roy win the Conn Smythe Trophy? Gager.
Twice?
Oh, man. I'm just going to go with what I know that there's one, so I'm going to go with 1.
He won it twice with Montreal and won it once with the Colorado Avalanche. So 3.
I just knew the one with Colorado, and I
Colorado?
couldn't remember if he won it with.
He won it with Colorado in. I think it was the 2000. Let me double check. It was. I think it was the second cup that he won with Colorado that he won the Conn Smythe with. Let's just see here. Conn Smythe Trophy. Yeah, 2001 was the third one. He was pretty good. All right, Cass, still your board. Gager's still being shut out.
Players named Jonas.
Okay, here we go. This Jonas was a Swiss League MVP in 2007 and an NHL All-Star in 2011.
Oh, 2011.
There was a guy named
2011.
Jonas that played in the NHL.
Yeah, there's a few of them. I've got answers to both of them here.
I mean, no, but he wasn't. That's
Swiss. I'm blank.
You're out. Gager's passing.
2011. But I mean, it's not Donskoy.
No. Jonas Hiller. Swiss League
Netminder.
MVP 2007. 2 teams in the National Hockey League. All-Star in 11. All right, Cass, still your board.
let's just get the other Jonas out of the way.
Okay. This Jonas played for 3 NHL teams in the 90s, and they were all Canadian clubs. If you're watching on the live stream, feel free to answer. They can't see it.
Jonas.
Bonus clue. He was once traded in a deal for Val Bure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jonas Höglund of the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Calgary Flames, and the Montreal Canadiens.
I knew him as Hoagie. I didn't know his first name.
Ah, there you go. Cass, you're bored still.
Sad Sutter.
Sad Sutter, here we go. How many times has Daryl Sutter won the Stanley Cup as coach?
Blah.
Gager, need it.
Once.
Twice.
Correct, Cass. 2 times with the Los Angeles Kings.
With LA.
Oh, 2 times. Right. What am
Yeah.
I'm such a moron.
Man, this is one of, if not the, most disappointing trivia performance I've ever seen from Joaquin Gage. Now, with that being said, there are 3 questions left. Gager, you need all 3 of them to get the tie.
Okay.
Let's go Habs captains.
Name an American who has been the captain of the Canadiens. Gager.
Max Pacioretty.
Correct. Would have also accepted Brian Giunta. All right, Gager, you are
I was just
still
slowing the gun on that one.
alive.
I knew that one too.
Bure brothers.
How many times did Pavel score 60 goals? Cass.
Dos.
Correct. He did it in year 2 and year 3. And then when he went to Florida, he got 59 and 58, literally playing with nobody, essentially all by himself. All right, Cass, that'll pretty much wrap up the win, but there's one question left, just for good measure.
Yeah.
How many seasons?
Patrick Roy.
Yeah. How many seasons did Patrick Roy coach the Colorado Avalanche? Cass.
2.
1.
Ooh,
3 years.
it's 3.
He had 3 years with Colorado. I only threw him in there because I saw he just got ejected from a QMJHL preseason game. So he's in fine form once again. Old Patrick Waugh.
Gager, can you spin me up the dance music here?
Ooh,
I don't have it ready. I should have had it ready. Sorry.
that's a burn.
That
That's
would
a
have
burn.
hurt too.
Gager, play him your music. That one hurts.
Play
That hurt.
That one hurts.
Yes.
Jackie
How are your Packers
O'Mackey on
doing?
the live stream, just watching right now, says, Gager ruins the shutout in the final few minutes. Oilers flashback.
You know what? I already had a tough weekend. Stop.
Yeah, what is this, an alumni event?
Oh
My
God.
goodness. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, that's going to do it for another episode of Two Guys and a Goalie. Boys, enjoy the rest of your week. We'll catch up later in the week and getting ready to see some preseason action in the National Hockey League just around the corner. We'll talk to you later, boys.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.